Now I want to look at a small detail now for generating more power in your punches, particularly your reverse punch. Now most of us are usually taught from your freestyle position or from a blocking position, whatever block it may be, the back leg should be slightly bent and down. But just looking at that in a slight more detail, if you put yourself in the reverse punch position where everything is pointing forward, and make sure your back foot is forward. If the back foot is pointing out, it won't work. So make sure that back foot is pointing as far forward as you can. Then from that completed reverse punch position, look at where your knees are and just twist back, keeping the knees exactly where they are. Now try not to move back so that the knees are moving back as well, but keep the knee, particularly the back knee, keeping that exactly where it is, and pull the hip back. Now what you find that will do is, first of all, my hip comes closer to my back foot, because my hip's coming back, my back foot's staying where it is. So there's a certain amount of compression in that back leg. The other thing is there's a certain amount of rotational torsion now in that back leg. Now we're not talking tension as in tensing your muscles up and bracing yourself. You're just talking a bit of compression and rotational torsion. And whenever you do that to the body naturally wants to release it. So whether you're doing it from a, shall we say, just a freestyle position, or whether you're blocking first with like an Agiyuki rising block, that's the feeling you want. Keeping that knee where it is and twisting the hip back. And work on getting that kind of torsion in the back leg. Now once you've got the torsion, like I say, that torsion, the body wants to release the torsion and return to its normal shape. And as you release the torsion, it thrusts into the floor, and powers that hand going forward. Okay? It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're not used to doing this. So it will feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but you will get used to it. The other thing is, once you get used to it, it will give you quite a bit more mobility as well. Now, karate, or certain styles of karate, Shotokan in particular, is often criticised as deep stances and not very mobile. However, if you're in a high stance and you want to do a punch and you want to get a little bit more range, you can get the more range just by moving the foot forward. Now that will work every time, but you're relying on gravity to kind of pull you forward. Now gravity is very reliable. I like gravity. Gravity is very good, and it will pull you forward every time. However, if you've got that back leg compressed, get the torsion in there, the compression in there, then when you release that compression and torsion and step forward, then that little slide forward, you will go forward a lot faster. Okay, so karate is actually quite mobile. Now, whether you're doing this for sparring in the club or competition, it'll work there. It'll also work in a street situation. If someone's kind of been aggressive towards you, threatening you, most reality-based martial arts will recommend that you put your hands up in what they call a fence. So the hands are up, the feet are like 45 degrees in quite a solid stance. Now, you could be facing your attacker, your assailant, and at the same time, if he starts coming too close, you can sink a little bit and put that torsion into that leg that same way. Even from this, like, look mate, I don't want any trouble, you know, get the torsion in that leg, even from the fence, and then as soon as the person gets too close, you release it. From that kind of self-defense scenario, somebody's coming a little bit close to you. Very often when somebody's afraid, they kind of make themselves look smaller. They want to kind of like, make themselves look insignificant so the person will leave them alone. So the bully will be used to that. So if you lower yourself slightly and twist back, you're actually making yourself look that little bit smaller, that little bit more insignificant. So he will think, or should think, that you're being intimidated and you're cowering away. The only thing you've got to be careful is not to lean back as you do so. If you do that, you've lost a lot of your power. So you want to keep the back straight, lower yourself a little bit, get that torsion in there. Look mate, I don't want any trouble, I want you to have it, release it. Okay? So again, the basics is, from a forward punch position, keep that knee where it is, and get that compression and torsion into your back leg. That will help you generate a lot of power. It will be uncomfortable at first, but as you get used to it, it becomes much more comfortable and you'll begin to like it. So, thank you for listening.